o'clock somewhere with
John
ready in his chair and almost 10 whole people watching from home. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? It's time for the ThinkSoJoe Show!
Well, are you ready? I'm not ready. I'm okay. I'm good. John's not here. Ignore that side. John's not here. John's not coming. John's going to be hopefully back next week. I talked to him earlier. He's doing better, I guess. Still concussed. Still not able to play drums. He said he might be able to do the podcast next week, but I also reminded him that the lights are pretty damn bright in here. And I can't really turn the lights off to accommodate him, because if we turn the lights off in here, it looks something like this, and that doesn't work. So, and I know Laura's going to go, oh, turn the lights back off, it looked better. Laura, I got good news for you if you haven't read the show description yet. And that is, later on in this hour, there's going to be a pre-recorded interview with Lexi Rain. Back from the dead, as it were. And, yeah, we'll explain that if you don't know what I'm talking about. We'll explain that in the interview. It works. Yeah, of course it works for you. Anything where you can't see me or hear me or whatever, it always works for you. It don't work for me, though, because lights off and turn off the microphone. Look, if I didn't have, I mean, I guess I really could have just been like, I don't feel like doing a show this week, I'm not going to do one, but, then Lexi reached out to me, and she said, hey, can I come on the show? And I said, yeah, what am I going to tell you? No, you've been on the show since we've been since we've been just a radio-only podcast, like, yeah. Come be on the show anytime you like. Just absolutely ask and leave the room. But, yeah, I thought we had 2 interviews this week. I was, like, I got everything ready yesterday because I thought I was pre-recording an interview yesterday, so I got the studio all cleared out and I was ready to go, and I'm sitting on the porch. And I'm waiting, and it's finally like 30 minutes after the guy's supposed to get here, and I shot him a message like, hey, man, you still coming? He said, what are you talking about? I'm coming on the 9th. I said, oh, I misunderstood. Oops. Okay, cool, I'll see you on the 9th. So, yeah, I'm doing an interview on the 9th for the episode airing on the 10th, where the episode was originally supposed to be live in studio on the show on the 3rd, but that's neither here nor there. We'll get to that when we get to it. I'm also trying not to take too deep of breaths today because I'm still dealing with the fallout of I was sick for the last few days. Literally just basically dying, just struggling to breathe. But I'm good now. I went through an entire illness since John's been concussed, and John is still concussed. But he'll be okay. Talked to him earlier. He went to the doctor. They said, they did the concussion test. They said, yep, you're still concussed. They opted not to, do a head scan today. They said, no, it could take a while. It could take up to a year. So hopefully it doesn't take that damn long, because my band wants to play. We need to find a singer first, and then we can play. But we need a healthy drummer too. So setbacks. Yeah. Really, I haven't done shit over the past week since we've last been on the air, other than the interview. I bought a new cutting machine, but that ain't getting here till Friday, so that's nothing exciting. I'm going to be able to make bigger things now, bigger paintings instead of these little 11 by 14s. And like I'm trying to now get those 11 by 14 paintings, like trying to get the old TRL collection stuff up on Etsy because I never got around to doing that. So I was sitting around last night. I was done with work. I'm like, what do I do? Like I should start getting these up on Etsy so I could start clearing out that room a little bit. And then I realized like. So I found an app called, what the heck is that app called? It's called Art Rooms. Yeah, the app is called Art Rooms. Lexi's in the chat. I told you Laura was going to be excited to see you on the show. So what was I talking about? So I started uploading to this Art Rooms app, and like it's a mock-up app, so it'll make mock-ups for like what it'll look like on a wall, and like compared to the rooms that they're putting them in, the paintings are like this fucking big, and I'm like, dude, I need to make bigger paintings. Like, you can see this Ozzy one behind me. They're not tiny. The Britney Spears one is actually on my table behind me too. Like, they're not tiny. They're going to look good on your wall, but, like, the app just, in context makes everything makes it look just tiny. Like, and really, like, it's like putting a sheet of paper on the wall. They're not that much bigger than a sheet of paper. Art rooms, like the back rooms. No, like, the app's called Art Rooms. And it gives you, like, mock-ups of, like, living room walls and shit to put your paintings on. How did I interview Lexi? She's back from the dead, didn't you know? I interviewed her, we did a Zoom call. She went for a suntan and she never left. Yeah, I know. I rewatched it again the other night. I don't want to give away much of what we talk about in the interview, but I did like as soon as she reached out about wanting to do the interview, I'm like, oh, we're talking about Killer Camp, and so I like started trying to look at just trying to find remember exactly what happened at the end of that episode, and let's just say AI was only helpful in pointing me in the right direction to actually watch the episode, not in actually giving me any detail about what happened. And that's all discussed in the interview. You'll see that in about half an hour. That's going to be it's going to be right after the first song break. Oh shit, I'm not even set up to play music. I should probably do that. Let's do that. We're going to set up to play music while we're doing a podcast, because it never crossed my mind to actually set up to play music on this music podcast today. I'm just sitting here like, I know there's something else I got to do. Did Leland tell you the Buffalo Orchestra can play along to Welcome to Joe's Barbecue Live? I love it. That is amazing. Are you guys doing something with a BPO? Because that would be awesome. So we got to get the DJ controller out because that's not been hooked up since last week. It's crazy because I didn't even use this computer at all this week. Except maybe to upload the King of the Hill video. Hey, my King of the Hill cover's out, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that last week. The King of the Hill cover and another cover are both up. You can play them on all streaming platforms now. Also, new T-shirt. I meant to put this in the store before the show. I never got around to it. But Laura doesn't believe Lexi's alive. Lexi's literally in the chat, and Laura's like, I don't believe she's alive. I saw her die on TV. She must be dead. I also saw her die on TV, and that's why we were like, Did we Porch Fest? No, I did. Okay. So the BPO said they book 6 to 12 months out and they cannot play music as art. Okay. Right now, we're hoping we still can play music as art. We are without a drummer temporarily and still looking for a singer, which we will hopefully rectify soon. We want to play music as art. Like, we were just talking about it. Like we want to play, man. We just want to play music. Is Lex in here with us now? She's in the chat on YouTube. She's literally chatting. You probably can't see it on Facebook, but she was literally in the chat. She said hi to Laura. And she said she was glad we got to talk about Killer Camp. We were talking, and this also comes up in the interview. Hey, maybe she really is dead. Maybe I see dead people. We were talking about message Lazy D. He needs, if anybody out there is watching and applied for music as art but did not get it this year, let me know. Because I would love to, if we're not able to do, music as art, I would love to have somebody to recommend. Because, I was going to be like, pick XM Priory, but they're playing music as art. Oh, pick Bastard. They didn't apply. And then all the POTUS Triple X guys, they got to set at 8 something, right? So I have a theory. You interviewed Lexi before Killer Camp, and she'll talk about stuff that might happen during Killer Camp. She is literally in the chat with you, Laura. She is literally... See, this is what happens when you die on TV. When you die on TV, people think you die in real life. Lazy D, did he apply or did he not apply? Because I can't just, if he didn't apply, I can't just be like, yo, give it to my boy Lazy D. But if he applied and he didn't get it, I could be like, yo, you could put Lazy D in that spot. But the other thing is, it's the skate park stage, so it's the punk rock stage, and you can make an argument for Lazy being punk rock, but I don't know, I want to make sure we got somebody who applied, so we're not just oh, hey, pick this guy who didn't apply over all the other people that applied and didn't get it, because I'm sure there's plenty of them. No, that's okay, Mark. Lexi's gone and she's not returning. She's literally going to be on the show at 6:30. We both know Lazy didn't do it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he didn't apply, I can't necessarily just be like, Sarah, who you should pick to replace us is this guy. I want to make sure it's somebody who's applied and is on the waiting list. You know what I mean? We should have Lazy D join my set. We're talking about options right now. What we want to do right now is get through this weekend. Because we have at least one person coming to audition. We're supposed to have 2, but we haven't heard from one of them. So we're going to do auditions this weekend. We're going to see how we're feeling, and we're going to go from there. But we also have the problem of we don't know when John is going to be cleared to be able to play again. So we might literally be able to get a practice in with a full band. We don't know. We're going to find out. It's Lazy D, not motivated D. Obviously, I'm aware. I know I've known Lazy for a number of years now, so I don't know, man. That guy's got some hustle, though. For a dude named Lazy, he's got some hustle, man. He goes out there and makes shit happen. I remember we played our first Music as Art, I think it was 2022, and yeah, it would have been 2022. Yeah, it was 2022. John's out with a concussion. Pay attention. Anyway, it was 2022. We played our first Music is Art, and Lazy Set was like right after ours. This was back at Riverworks. And they had us at the Ganson Silo backstage, which you had to know it was there to be able to find us. There are 3 facts of the world. Joe's braids are amazing. John's IQ is the same as a 6-year-old, and Lexi isn't returning. But Lazy Set was like right after ours. So like as soon as we were done, I'm like, John, let me put your shit. Let's like I know people are trying to talk to us. Let me put my shit in your car so I can go watch Lazy D. It was his first show like after the heart attack. And I was like, I have to go see this dude play. Like, that's my homeboy. I'm so glad he's playing again. You know, I gotta see him. And I managed to get there for like the last 2 or 3 songs, which was great. And now I've seen him a shit ton of times because he's always on all the Green Jello shit. So, and I've opened for Green Jello twice, which is, you know, for me, like, it's been 2 weeks, though, that we've been talking about John having a concussion. John's been concussed for, like, 3 weeks. Like, so this is our second episode back from 2 weeks off. The first week off was because I was getting central air put in. And I didn't know what time the guy was leaving, so I didn't want to worry about, like, if there's going to be noise, if the guy's going to need me for anything, whatever. So we skipped that episode, and then the following week we missed because John concussed himself the night before. So it's been 3 weeks now since John's had a concussion. I came back last week with the 1 hour episode because I'm like, all right, it's just me, I'll handle this. I can handle an hour, let's do that. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But, yeah, John is out with a concussion. How can John have a concussion? John smashed his head into a beam. Ran full speed into a beam. Well, welcome back then, Dewey. If you haven't seen the show in months, welcome back. We're always talking about how you have too much time on your hands, but apparently not enough time to watch the show. How do you figure it's physically impossible? Laura's saying it's physically impossible for John to concuss himself. For John to get a concussion. Like, just because he's dumb doesn't mean he can't get head injuries. And I say dumb in a loving way. John will be the first one to tell you he's not, not book smart. John's smart about a lot of stuff, but he's not, it takes him a minute to work things out in his brain sometimes. But he ran head first, full speed ahead from what he tells me, into a steel beam. Like, yeah, that beam ain't going anywhere, bro. Your brain is. That's why you're concussed. Who's had padding on it? Like, yeah, it still wasn't moving. Like, feel better, dude. Rest. Drink plenty of liquids, not Pepsi. Drink Pepsi, sure, but, like, make sure you're drinking water. As I sip iced tea, which this is actually empty, so I'm really looking forward to 10 minutes from now when I can throw to a song break. Oh, it wasn't empty. Great. Perfect. Anyway. Hopefully cooking with John will still happen. Hopefully. I don't know. So, like, right now, there's, like, John's trying to, you want to know how to boil an egg and you're going to trust John to tell you? John used to cook in a restaurant. So, like, I'm sure he knows how to cook. But I don't think I've ever actually eaten John's cooking in the entire time. It's been 6 years now that I've known him. Your mom said she's disturbed with all the Lexi's dead talk. I mean, maybe don't die on television. If you didn't want people to think you were dead, you should have won the competition. No, I'm kidding. If you guys haven't seen Killer Camp, which was a show that aired on the CW here in the States and ITV in Europe, it is available on demand here in the States, CWTV.com. Both seasons are available, and in prepping for the interview, I did watch the tail end of. Laura says she sent so many flowers when Lexi died to Lexi's mom. Yeah, if you guys want to know what the hell we're talking about, it's on the CW. You can watch it for free. I didn't need an account or anything. I literally went on last night. I watched it. Do I want a refund for what? Oh, for the flowers? Does Laura want the refund for the flowers? Lexi is in fact alive. It's got to be weird to have people talk about your death, even if it is just while you're still alive and people are talking about how you died, right? Like you died on a TV show, and this is 4 years ago now, and you still got your friends on a podcast. No, it's the same. It's the same Lexi Rain. It's not a different Lexi Rain. It's got to be weird, though, to hear your friends talking about you on a podcast, and this is how Lexi died, and, you're still alive. But it's also got to be kind of crazy to, also know what the hell they're talking about. Just, maybe avoid random stand-up tanning booths in the middle of the forest when you know there's a psycho killer out there. I don't know. Again, more stuff you'll hear about during the interview. We actually legit talked about that. So. But no, this is the same Lexi Rain that's been on the show many, many times in the past, whose album release, All WNY, hosted at Mohawk Place. I'm going to mention a decal, I think, in the interview. I think it was during the interview I mentioned the decal. Lexi's never used a tanning booth. Except for that one time. It's like that Alanis Morissette song. The guy never flew before, and he takes his first flight, and the plane crashed, right? It's like you've never used a tanning booth before, and this time you used one, and, some psychopath comes along, and, yeah. Now, Laura, you watched that happen. I don't know why you wouldn't be a little trepidatious about tanning booths in the middle of the woods. I would, at this point, after seeing that, I'm not trusting any weird tanning booths. I don't care where they are. I don't know if there's a psycho out there, replacing tanning oil with battery acid or... But yeah, no, it's so that show is actually the reason I have a VPN, and my VPN is the reason I can watch all my sports teams, all the games of both my two favorite sports teams. It's why I can watch every WWE show without cable, and it's all because I wanted to watch the rest of Killer Camp when CW was like, nah, we're not going to show the rest of this. Which they eventually did. And again, every episode available right now on CWTV.com. But yeah. Did I ask Lexi about baking? No, I didn't. What I was mentioning about the decal, though, I mentioned, I remember we gave you a decal at your album release. We did not. We gave her cookies that looked like her album cover. Yeah, you're saving me a ton of money, because apparently because it is like super expensive to watch WWE in the United States right now. You have to have, I think they said you have to have Netflix. You have to have a cable package that includes the USA Network. You have to have the CW, so you can get that over the air for free. But that's, you know, if you don't have an antenna, then you got to have that as part of your cable package. You got to have the new ESPN streaming service, and you got to have Peacock. You have to have all that just to watch all the WWE content. Or you just get a VPN and have Netflix, and you're good. So it's helpful. Yeah, I remember, I was thinking about it, like, after the interview, and I remember now, I went out and I specifically was looking for a cookie cutter to just sign up to the I wish we, worst thing they ever did was be like, nah, we're going to move from the WWE Network to Peacock. Like, no, just keep all your shit in one place. It's easier to find that way, like, but, you know, business is business, they got to make money. Yeah, I distinctly remember going out and, like, finding the ice cream cone cookie cutter so we could make the cookies for Lexi's album release that was sponsored by All WNY Radio at Mohawk Place, which progress of Mohawk Place is looking great if you guys aren't following that. Like, I'm looking at the pictures they're posting, and it's like, holy shit, that place actually looks clean. I've never seen Mohawk Place look clean before. But it's looking good. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to get some music a little bit early because this interview ran a little bit longer than the segment's going to run, than the usual 30-minute segments. So we're going to do song break now. We're going to come back with the Lexi Rain interview. And then we'll play a song from Lexi's new album. And then we'll get back to the normal schedule of the show. So we're going to talk about a show right now that's coming up Friday night in Rochester. It is Flummox, Darwin, and Kill Uncle. That's taking place at the Bug Jar, 219 Monroe Avenue in Rochester. That is the Bug Jar, right? Yep, Bug Jar. And this is Buffalo's own. It's $12 advance, $15 at the door, 21 plus. 18 to 20-year-old entry with advance ticket only, which you can get at bugjar.com. 8 p.m. doors, 9 p.m. music. Again, that's Friday night at the Bug Jar, 219 Monroe Avenue in Rochester. This is Buffalo's own Kill Uncle, and this song is called I Wanted to Tell You on All WNY, ThinkSoJoe Show. Welcome back to the ThinkSoJoe Show. My guest at this time is a longtime friend of the show. She's been on since we've been not a video podcast. Way back when Brian was still with us. And, this is Lexi Rain. Welcome. I had this whole thing, mapped out in my head how I was going to introduce you, and, then I slept until 1 p.m., and it's...
That is how it goes, I know. I'm really not good at introductions for my own videos, so don't worry.
It's been a while since you've been on the show. I know we were talking a few years ago about you coming on. You've been, out of Western New York, but you're still one of our own.
Yeah, no, that's where my true home is, but I think it's been 6 years since I was last on the show.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. I know we were talking a few years ago, but we weren't sure about legal rights about what you could talk about a certain project you were on.
Yes.
Which the last time that I actually saw you in person was not in person, but actually saw a video of you was your brutal death on national television.
Yeah, Killer Camp was quite the adventure, that's for sure. I totally forgot that we had spoken about that, but you were sharing me on Instagram when I was on screen. Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. I started watching the series. It aired you moved out there, and then it seemed almost immediately you ended up on Killer Camp, which is a what do you call it? A reality competition show, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
And then you are, and the basis of this show is you guys have to figure out which one of you is a murderer.
Yep.
And at the end of every episode, somebody dies. So I was like, Lexi's on the show. I'm going to watch this show. So I'm starting to get invested in the show. It's not airing here in the U.S. on the CW, and over there in the UK on ITV.
Yeah,
I'm watching on the CW, and the first 2 episodes there, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm invested. I can't wait to see what happens next week. And then the CW says, yeah, we're not going to show the rest of the show.
Yep.
Well, what the hell? I want to see what happens. I'm invested now. Like Lexi's in this love triangle. I got to see what happens.
Yeah, let me tell you, my fiance really loved that love triangle.
I bet. And so I had to get a VPN and set it to London so I could get an ITV account and watch the ITV broadcast to see what happens. And then I didn't watch past episode 3 because...
Same. I was
spoiler alert.
Yeah, no, I was very, very upset with episode 3, crying on television and then feeling like I was betrayed. I didn't watch the rest of it.
Yeah, I to this day, I don't know, I saw the Wikipedia entry, and the weird thing is, if you ask AI, how does Lexi die on season 2 of Killer Camp, it just says, oh, she was voted off, she didn't die. No, I watched her die.
Give me respect. Yeah, and it's funny, so it was a combination of UK and American young adults, I guess. We were flown to Lithuania for it, which not a lot of people knew. And then I got there the first day like everyone else. We had to stay in the hotel for 5 days to make sure that we weren't, affected with COVID. And then because of my death, you thought I would probably leave Lithuania early, right? No, I was there for the very end. Mine was the very last death that they shot. It was a very long trip to the country.
Now, that had to be a long makeup process, right? For your... I guess you can watch the show on demand if you don't know. If here in the U.S., it's on CWTV.com, which I watched it again the other day because I'm like, I know she died in a tanning bed. What the hell happened? So that's why I'm asking AI. I'm like, what happened? And it's oh, she was just voted off. No, that's not what happened. And I'm arguing with the AI, no, she was killed in a tanning booth, and they're no, she didn't die. I literally watched it, and I'm friends with her. I know what happened. I saw it. So you found that you're walking through the woods. You just got eliminated from the show. Your friends all betrayed you and said you're the killer, which you were not.
Nope.
So you're walking through the woods. You're dejected. You see this tanning booth, stand-up tanning bed. You're like, oh, that's a great idea. I'm in the middle of the woods. I just found a random tanning bed. I'm gonna just take off my clothes and go get a tan. And then the killer Bruce comes along and he replaces your tanning oil with battery acid.
Yep. I promise you, I would not actually enter a stranded tanning booth in normal circumstances.
It did not seem like a good idea.
Nope, and it was actually like 3 a.m. when it was filmed. It was so cold. Everyone there is wearing like these like extra warm bathrobes, and I'm in my bikini.
Yeah, I'm just watching it back the other night. I'm just like, this, like she knows there's a killer out there. Like, why would she, like, she doesn't know whose tanning booth this is.
Yeah, no, it's fun to talk about that show. It's been a while now, like 4 years. Almost feels like a different lifetime. It was probably shot during the pandemic, I would imagine. Yeah.
Because it aired probably just after or right before the end of the pandemic. And like when you reached out about talking about the new album, I'm just like, okay, but we're talking about Killer Camp too.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Because like I did not get to talk to you about this much. Like we talked a little bit, but we weren't sure what TV CW restrictions would be as far as what you were able to say at the time. But it's been like 4 years, so they probably don't give a shit anymore. Like they didn't.
We're good now.
They didn't give enough of a shit to actually finish airing the episodes here, so.
Yeah.
They eventually did. They are now all available, and like I said, I watched the end of yours the other day because I'm like, I just got to see this death sequence one more time so I know what I'm talking about.
Love it. They got to put it on YouTube so I can just watch that and nothing else.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but as soon as you were out, I'm like, I don't feel like watching this show anymore. But it comes up every now and then in our chat. Just your name comes up, and like, may she rest in peace.
Oh, love it.
But as our viewers can see, she is alive. She is well. She has just released a new album, which I was just listening to, and let me find that.
Oh, good.
The Grief Case is the new album. And the first thing that I noticed when I opened up the album is these are the 5 stages of grief, but also a murder thrown in for good measure.
Yep. People always forget about the murder stage. Yeah, this it's kind of a nice segue from being killed off at Killer Camp to now I'm the killer.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Maybe in a future reunion season or something.
Maybe I'll get my revenge. Yeah, I was sitting on some of the songs for a couple of years actually. It was just going to be the 5 stages of grief, like normally, like how you would grieve the end of a relationship. But then I wrote the 5th song, which is Gone for Good. And that's all about unaliving the guy who hurt you. And I thought, how can I make this work? So that's what I did.
Perfect. I gave it a listen. I woke up at like 1 o'clock today, and we're recording this at 2 o'clock. So I'm like scrambling to like eat breakfast, get the show programmed. John calls me, my usual co-host / drummer. To let me know what, he's got a concussion and he went to the doctor today, so he's calling me to let me know what happened. And I'm just like, dude, no, I'm trying to get through this show, and I'm also trying to listen. So I managed to listen to the whole album. I really enjoyed it. We are going to play the acceptance track 6, Nothing. Right, I think that was what one of the 2 choices you gave me. So
I do think your friend's concussion does outweigh this. I could have pushed it back.
No, it's fine. I try to get the promo out by like 3 o'clock, so it's like I want to get this done so I can get that done, and then have like 3 hours between that and the show to do whatever I got to do. So
understood. Yeah. And the track actually is Aisle 32B for Denial, because that's the one that has a music video.
Oh, okay, we'll do that one.
But they both started with A, so I understand. If you just had a chance to listen to it like a half hour ago.
For whatever reason, I thought you said like track 1 or 6, and I could be wrong. It was
probably late when I messaged you because of the 5-hour difference.
Right. let me see. It's already out. I said if it's on Tidal. You said either track 1. Oh, no, you said track 1 or track 5, so I was still wrong.
It's okay. It's all good. Yeah, no, the music video is something that I'm trying to push. It's nearly at 10K views. I wish I could say it was at 10, but it's not yet.
Almost there, though. Which is more views than probably anything I've ever done combined, so that's...
I don't believe that.
I'm sure if I go through my YouTube, it's probably...
Same, though, like 16 views, 20, maybe 30 here and there.
Yeah. So how is life in the UK?
Life is, it's rainier, that is for sure, but I think it's a much cheaper way of living, and I mean, I love the area that I live in. I feel safer than I used to in some of the parts of Buffalo, that's for sure, too.
There are definitely some rough parts of Buffalo.
Rough places everywhere, though, for sure. But yeah, no, it's a nice city. I live in Salford, so it's right adjacent to Manchester.
Okay. So you guys. So is that like kind of like the small town, and then you're like right like living in Jersey, but you're close enough to New York City, kind of deal, or?
Well, I guess it's a little bit closer. So I'm like a 20-minute walk into like the bustling city. So it's pretty nice, but I feel kind of out of the way where I am.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you gonna come visit sometime soon? I'll show you around.
We'll see what happens.
It's a long flight, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's probably a lot of money too, I'm sure.
Well, hey, if you were in New York City, it's only 200 pounds, which is probably $260 for a direct flight.
Which is actually not terrible.
Yeah, but it's the additional from, where do we fly in? JFK to Buffalo Airport. That's the extra, like, $700 bit.
Yeah, for sure. Buffalo, it's really weird to see, like, flights out of Buffalo and then flights out of, like, Cleveland or Toronto or New York, and it's like, why is everything else so cheap and Buffalo so not?
You want to talk about cheap? My company is going to Paris in 3 weeks for a conference. It costs 44 pounds to get there and back.
That is ridiculously cheap.
Isn't it? It's crazy.
The crazy. I was looking up flights, like just because you can do a thing on like Google where you just search for flights, but you don't put in a destination. And it'll just tell you what everything costs, and like it's super cheap to fly from here to Orlando, but it's super expensive to fly from here to anywhere else.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, why is Orlando cheap and everything else is super expensive?
Seriously.
Like we went to Vegas 2022-ish, I want to say, and yeah, it was February 2022, and my buddy's like, hey, do you want to go to Vegas with me? I'm like, dude, I just got back from San Francisco and paying all that money for those flights. And I'm just like, I don't want to, I gotta pay for a hotel. I gotta pay for a flight. I gotta buy the ticket. Like, he's like, I'm like, I don't want to go. So he hit me back. He's like, look, man, it's $200. We're going to fly out of Cleveland. I'll drive to Cleveland. We'll fly out of Cleveland. It's $200 as opposed to like the $600 it is to fly out of Buffalo.
I don't know why they make those prices the way that they are, but at least driving to Cleveland, what's that, 3.5 hours? It's not that bad.
Yeah, no, it's not terrible at all.
Yeah, I did that once to go see Taylor Swift, so.
There are definitely viewers who will watch this show who will be like, oh, she saw Taylor Swift. Congratulations to Taylor Swift, by the way.
I will say I was on my phone heading into my bathroom. My fiance and I, we have separate bathrooms, and I walked in, and before the door even shut, I screamed, oh my God. Like, I literally screamed, and he came rushing. He thought that I saw a spider, and I was just like, Taylor Swift got engaged. And then I immediately texted my friend. It had only been announced for 6 minutes, and in the same, like, time that it took me to send it to her, she sent me it back. Like, that's how crazy we were. So hopefully your viewers are also some Swifties.
I definitely have some Swifties in my viewership, and they, I definitely saw them very excitedly posting. Like, that's how I found out, was like, I literally sat down, and the first post is my friend Steph saying, oh my God, it happened. Like, And then,
so now when you post about this episode, you could say Lexi Rain, TV star and Swiftie appeared.
yeah, there you go. That's what you're known for now is TV is being murdered on Killer Camp and being a Swiftie and occasionally doing music.
yeah, that's like the latter half. Oh man.
Well, you've been doing music for a long, long time. You've been on this show. We've had you on several times over the years.
Yeah. I know of at least 3. So this could be the 4th.
Could be the 4th. Could be, I know at least 3. I know we did at least 2 before we were doing video, and then you Skyped in the one time.
Yes.
Skype was still a thing.
Well, you told me last night it wasn't a thing anymore. I didn't know.
Yeah, they shut it down, I think, earlier this year.
That's funny.
And
okay.
I remember because when I did the wrestling podcast back in the day, we all did Skype because it was me and people from all around the world just doing this wrestling podcast, and we just Skyped in and recorded from like our Skype call, and then they were like, "Oh, we're shutting down Skype." Like, oh, that kind of sucks. That was a big part of my life for quite a number of years there when we were doing the podcast, the wrestling podcast. So.
Like the gateway to everything else, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. But then Zoom came along and kind of took over that mantle of hey, here's the software to use to record to record and do video calls and everything, and especially like with the pandemic and everybody had to work from home and meetings were done by Zoom, and nobody's like, oh, we got to do a Skype meeting.
Yeah, that's true. It wouldn't have rolled off the tongue in the same way.
Zoom kind of came along, right time, right place, and was like the Netflix to Skype's Blockbuster, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Or back when Netflix was actually like sending 2 DVDs every day back and forth. But no. Yeah, music though, I've been doing it since 2016, so it's been nearly a decade.
I remember, I think the first time I saw you play was you were doing a cover, and I can't remember, was it maybe Hallelujah?
Hello, Goodbye, maybe?
Hello, Goodbye might have been, whichever one of those 2 was first was probably the first time I actually saw you, like, play anything. Yeah,
I think it was, because for some reason, that cover blew up on YouTube a little bit, so don't know why.
It was really good, I can tell you that much. I remember that much. It was years ago, so I don't,
a long time.
Foggy, but
yeah, that was, gosh, this new EP, I lost track. I think it's my 5th album. Yeah. So coming out with one every 2 years, so maybe in 2027 I'll be back on.
Looking at your catalog here, it says you have 2 albums, 3 EPs.
Yeah.
So I think we had you on. So we had you on when Moxie came out, which was 2017.
Gotcha. Okay, that would make sense. Yeah, that was my first solo thing from the band.
And then I think didn't we host your Fun While It Lasted album release?
I think so.
I remember we did we took that ice cream cone cover and we made you like a decal.
Yeah.
I remember that much.
Yes,
that was part of that.
Oh gosh, it wasn't at Mohawk, which I heard that shut down. That's so sad.
I think it was at Mohawk.
Was it Mohawk? Yeah, you're right, it was.
I'm pretty sure it was at Mohawk, and Mohawk is reopening.
Oh, is it?
In October, as far as I know.
That's exciting.
They've been sharing a lot of progress updates. It's very exciting because like I was not only booking there, but once I started playing in a band again, it's like, oh, cool, I can play Mohawk Place. And I was playing Mohawk, and we were booking everything at Mohawk, and then, oh, hey, there's no Mohawk. Like, oh, great, I guess we're going to Nietzsche's now.
Yeah, man. I still get sad that the Forum closed down, or the four of them, if you want to be literal.
Right. I only went there once. I saw a bunch of my friends play, but it was a nice place. You just gotta find a spot around the poles to be able to see the stage.
Yeah, that's true. No, that was my very first concert that I ever played, and I actually hosted my combination 18th birthday party, graduation party there. Like, it was a big deal. That was my first album release with the band, too. Avid the album.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's got a special place in my heart.
I think, like, all the times that I was actively in a band was times that the forum did not exist. So, like, I think it came around after I was out of my first band, but before I got into this band, and so I never got to play there. But, you know, friends of mine played there, so I'm like, all right, I'll be there. See you guys.
Yeah. Besides the polls, it was great. Oh, and then it was a separate room, wasn't it, for a while? I don't know if you were there for that bit before they tore out that wall. So it was like less opened. It was like, it felt different from the restaurant side to the stage side.
I'm pretty sure I was there after they tore out the wall.
Yeah.
I think it was like towards the end of the lifespan of that venue. Venues come and go here a lot. They
do. But I love every single one of them. Oh, the one I used to live right down the street from it, the one that Greg used to work at. Why can't I think of it? With all the records on the wall, it was in Tonawanda. Stamps. That was my favorite.
Yep. Also not there anymore. Well, I mean, it's still there. It's just,
yeah.
You know.
That was the best. It was seriously a 3-minute drive from where I lived, right next to the river. And my gosh, like, loved that area.
That was home base for all Western New York for a while. We were doing all of our shows out of there. And then my other band, Yellow Sauce, used to do an open mic there. I wasn't a part of that. I wasn't in the band at the time, but that was like home for us. So when that closed, we were just like devastated. And they were like, "Do you guys want to play the, you know, second to last show there?" Like, yes, please.
I saw that.
And I taped one of my bookmarks to the wall that says maybe we'll go to Stamps, because that was a line in one of the Yellow Sauce songs. And by time we left, somebody had taken it off the wall. I'm like, well, that was supposed to die with the venue. Like, what the hell? Like, turned out it was Cam, the old security guard there.
Love Cam.
Yeah, he's got it on his wall now. So
well, that makes it better. So it wasn't just thrown away. But yeah, no, I do miss the music scene. I think that COVID changed a lot of things. So.
Yeah, for sure. We lost a lot of venues. We had, you know, a lot of bands probably went away during COVID because, like, well, what do we do now? We can't play shows.
Yeah.
You know, we tried to do the live stream thing. We did it. It just didn't sound good. So.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, COVID ruined, actually. I don't know if you know this, but in March of 2020. I had booked a tour of Canada with my drummer, and it was called the Grunge and Glam Tour. And we had 8 shows in 7 days in Canada, and we were going to meet a record label. Still in talks with the record label, so it hasn't completely died out, but it was that week that COVID happened, and they started shutting things down. And that Friday, I got my acceptance letter to university here in Manchester, and it was just like, what do I do? Do I stay and hope that COVID doesn't ruin everything and I still do music here in Buffalo, or do I move to England? And I did choose that. So, but it was a big Sophie's choice for me.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, that's, you know, music, college, stay in Buffalo and play at dive bars, or live in England.
Yeah, no, I mean, things happen for a reason, and ironically, that Canadian record label moved to England, which is why we're still in talks. But like, that's just the universe trying to help me manifest something. So
that is great. That's hopefully that'll.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, hopefully.
You'll be the first because I'll come back on the show.
Great. And then I'll have record execs like, you can't ask her about that.
Yeah, they'll have to media train us both. Yeah, they'll be like, probably no F-bombs on the show, no talking about anything like on the line of, you know, but.
You can't talk about her gruesome death on television.
That's exactly it. Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, no, but I do miss Buffalo. I miss so many things about, like, I mean, walking around, it was prettier and less rainy. My mom was there. My dog was there. But I'm here, and I've got a fiance, so I wouldn't have met him. So things happen for a reason.
Yeah, for sure. How often do you come back? Do you come back at all? Or?
I come back usually once a year.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, usually for Christmas.
Okay.
But then my mom kind of hogs me. And, like, my aunt can come by, but, like, not more than 3 times. Because she's like, I need time with my daughter.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure if I left, that would be probably the case too. I'd come back and somebody would be like, nope, he's hanging out with me the whole time.
Exactly. It's a good feeling though.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Especially when I walk around, like I went to GameStop a couple years ago, and the guy, we were all wearing face masks still because it was COVID. He was like, Lexi Rain? And I was like, I feel like a celebrity because, like, how did you recognize me with the mask on too? So whenever I bring my fiance back, it's fun to see if I get recognized anywhere. Not like from a famous level, just like from people from high school, like who remember me and haven't seen me in years. I wish I was that famous walking down the street and people saying like, oh, that's her.
You say that now, but when you get to that level and just you're everywhere you go, people are like, oh my God, it's Lexi. Like, yeah, hi guys. I'm trying to go buy a video game now. Like,
that's true. That is probably like you want that all the way up until you have it, and you're like, oh, this is maybe not so special.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of get to that like Taylor Swift level where people will know you, but you have a big enough presence where you also have a flock of bodyguards, like making sure people don't see you.
Yeah, although I will say I've got a little bit of a taste of it because I have an email stalker who I was on, oh man, I hope he never sees this. I was on his radio show a couple years ago, and I think I got like dozens upon dozens of emails because I forgot to respond to one, and then he just kept bombarding me. And then you know when you feel awkward because you're like, oh, I haven't responded in so long, I can't respond now. And it turned into these like love letters and it was very, so the reason I bring him up is he just came back into my life 3 days ago because of this new album. So I was talking to my fiance and he was like, could you imagine being really famous and having like thousands of these a day? So
you got a point. Yeah, that is the downside of fame, I guess, is you're famous.
Yeah, you lose all semblance of privacy, but
yeah, for sure. You got to find, there are artists that somehow manage to find like that good balance of like, trying to think of how to pronounce it. Anonymity.
There we go.
You got some artists who know how to keep that balance of like an anonymity. I just said it and now I can't say it again.
Anonymity.
You have some artists that can keep that anonymity and like still be famous, but for the most part you see him and it's just like, oh, there's that guy. Let's go get his autograph. Let's go hound him at the airport. Let's go do this, do that. Like, yeah,
it is crazy. You made me think of Brendan Urie right there. We were actually there for his very last performance with guess you can't really call them Panic at the Disco, right? Because I mean it was just him at the end. But he had a baby, which is why he stopped his music career, and you still can't even figure out which gender it is. That's how locked down they are. But I don't think a lot of celebrities are like that.
Yeah. I had the chance to meet I was working at this hotel and I was living across the street and they called me up and they're like, dude, Superfly Jimmy Snuka is in the bar right now, and like they know I'm a wrestling fan and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. So what am I supposed to do? Like run across the street with a pen and a piece of paper? Like, Mr. Snuka, can I have your autograph? Dude's just trying to drink at the bar, man. Like,
yeah, I get that, but like, still, man, if you're that big of a fan.
Yeah, I never ended up meeting Jimmy Snuka, and that's fine with me. But like, dude's just trying to have a day to himself, like. People don't think about these kind of things. They're just like, oh my God, it's that celebrity. I have to go interrupt them and get their autograph. And we're running out of time here. It's telling me.
Oh,
good. Running out of time. It doesn't. Oh, we have 9 minutes and 51 seconds left before it tells us we can't record any longer or be on the meeting any longer. So,
is that good for you, or do you want to restart?
No, that's good for me because I'm going to try and because this is going to be one segment of the podcast and then we'll.
Yeah, it's not all about me.
Yeah, I'm not really keeping track of the time on it. It's just because it's my show, I can do whatever the hell I want. But
true, it's called ThinkSoJoe for a reason.
Yeah, but like if I had a co-host this week, I'd probably be like, oh, well, we should probably wrap this up, but I don't, so who cares?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I always think about like that side of fame of like they're probably sick of people bothering them all the time. Like I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to just like, oh, I heard you were here. I had to come get your autographs, or like, you know.
I will say that when I was younger, I thought if I ever met, like, I've got a list of top 5 guy celebrities that I'm just in love with, right? And my fiance, he just has to deal. But I always thought if I met them in person, what if I went up and I was just like, hey, what do you do for a living? And they're like, what? Yeah, I'm a famous singer. Like, oh, never heard of you, you know? And then like get that mystique, and they'd be like, now I need to know you. Let me get your number. That's how it played out in my head.
There's actually, I don't know if it's a YouTube channel or just a guy on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever, but there's actually a guy who does that. He goes up to famous people and he's like, what do you do for a living?
Oh, that's so funny. Does it take them down a peg? Do they like get visibly upset?
Some of them do. Some of them get like really mad about it.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, I guess, see, no original song has ever been had, has it?
I mean, you could think it's original, but somebody else has probably thought it, so...
Yep. TikTok has taught me that like nothing I do is original.
Yeah, no, when I started doing my art, like I do the stencil art kind of stuff, some guy got really mad about it. And it was like, back then I was only doing paintings of my bandmates, and he got really mad. He's like, you're stealing my art style. I'm like, dude, Warhol was doing this before you.
Yeah.
Like, this is nothing new. It's pop art, bro. Like, I'm not reinventing the wheel here, and I wasn't doing it for profit then. I am now, but, you know.
Yeah.
But he got really mad about it and ended up blocking me on Facebook, like, because he's like, you're stealing my art style. Like,
that's so
actually,
dumb.
I'm stealing Banksy's art style, but cool. You know.
Oh, man.
If you want to think I'm stealing your art style, all right, sure, whatever. If you're that worried about, you know, maybe I'm just better than you and that's why you're panicking.
That's actually probably true, man. People get jealous so quickly nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, like, it wasn't, like, I was doing something for fun, and this guy's like, you're stealing my style,
Yep.
But yeah, no, original thoughts are, you could think they're original, but somebody else has thought of it.
Yeah, definitely. Although I will say when I was making the grief case and trying to come up with the ideas, from what I did research, I did not see my exact concept of murder being in one of the stages. So hopefully it's original-ish, you know?
I would imagine so. I don't think I've ever heard of murder being a stage of grief, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
So we have the grief case is out now. It's on all streaming platforms. There's a video out for the song Aisle 32B, Denial.
Yep.
And it's a great album. It's 21 minutes long, 21 minutes, 9 seconds.
You know that because you had to fit it in your morning
It is. It's also literally right here on my screen. And you released this almost 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. It feels like a world away though. The release show, you know, was amazing. I did work with a producer. It was her first time ever producing someone's album, so we were very experimental with some bits. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun. It wasn't the same as my producer in Buffalo, well, Niagara Falls, but it was a nice difference. You
were one of Johnny Helms's, weren't you?
Yep. Loved him. We still talked about it. I showed him the whole project before it was released, so he gave me his blessing.
Try that again, but better.
Yeah, he did have some thoughts. He was like, there are things that I would have changed. However, since it's already in the process of being released, I will keep this to myself. I was like, thank you, because I couldn't deal with that.
Right. Johnny's a good dude. He did the old ThinkSo brain stuff. He was on me all the time. Like, you need to, like, no, sing it better, do it better, you know?
There was nothing worse than being in the vocal booth where you obviously can't see him and you just hear again. And, yeah, man, when you're having a bad day, you knew it.
Brian would always joke about it. He'd be like, oh, I'm going to give you when we were recording Falls Count Anywhere, the first Living Brain Dead EP, he's like, oh, I'm giving you the Johnny Helms treatment. Do it again, but better.
It's so funny. He's got to like become like one of the producers that works with famous people, so then we can all know his method.
Yeah, for sure.
Do it again better.
For sure. What's the venue scene like out there?
Interestingly enough, open mic nights are rampant rampant here. It's like 70 a night, whereas venues like in Buffalo don't really exist. It's not a big scene where you play a 30-minute show and sell tickets.
Okay.
Yeah. So different, but it's interesting because open mic nights are, you can play dozens of them and not see the same people.
Yeah, for sure. I don't typically go to the open mic nights, but my buddy Nick Lucido was doing one for Music is Art a couple of years
ago. Cool.
And he was like, "Hey, I'm doing this thing. Do you want to come hang out?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll be there." And it was cool to see like all the different artists playing different genres, different styles, and
yeah. I will say it's not very pop punk. Everyone finger plucks. Like it's very low energy, melodic, and then I go out there with my pop punk songs, and I'm like, okay, I know you didn't expect this, but here I am. So it helps me stand out a bit. That's for sure.
That was definitely the case with Nick too. Was he was just like, oh hey, I'm gonna kick the energy up here for you guys.
Yeah, it's nice though because then they remember you.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's something I want to start doing once my band finds a singer. It's just okay. Let's go do open mic shit. Like,
yeah.
All right, you have 2 minutes 39 seconds. Tell us all about the grief case and why people should listen.
Okay, I should have probably prepared this, but everyone. Grief is not linear. You go through many stages. Sometimes you're okay with it. You're upset. You go back to being angry and wanting to murder the guy. And so in this project, that's just exactly what I did because sometimes the only way to get over him is to end him. So I'm hoping that people can relate to one of the stages and apply it to their life. Some people who have never been in relationships still listen to it and said that it resonated with them, losing friendships, losing your career, losing your, passion for a hobby. So I'm hoping that this is the first concept album that I've ever done and it goes over really well. It's already being put into people's Spotify playlists and it's already getting reviewed by some big bloggers. So hoping this is the best project I've ever released. And yeah, I'm glad that I got to talk about it with you.
I'm glad you reached out to talk to me about it. We don't get to talk very much anymore since you moved so far away. But it's always great to catch up with you. And it was great to finally talk about your gruesome death on television. And I'm sure Lady Laura Moore, if she's watching today's episode, is excited to hear all about it. She's always bringing it up in the chat.
I love her. I was going to ask if she was still a fan. If you do need any behind the scenes footage to put next to your head of me in the fake rib cage while you're talking about it, let me know because I've got it all.
Oh, that would be great. I'd love. I don't know if I'd have time to put it in here, but I would love to see that.
Okay, I will send it either way.
All right, sounds good. All right, we're going to wrap this up then because it says we got less than 1 minute. So.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Joe. It's been an honor being here again.
Thank you for reaching out. I'm so glad to have you on the show. You're always welcome here.
Amazing. I cannot wait to be on here again. It will not be so long, I promise you.
All right, and I'm going to throw it to the song, even though we're just going to hang up here. Aisle 32B, Denial by Lexi Rain right here on All WNY, ThinkSoJoe Show.
Okay. Waited for your call, but I didn't get it, so I got on the plane again, but it's your face I'm missing. I'm in the seat, aisle 32B, wishing you were here. I sneak a peek out the window past a stranger's face to see the lights of our city fading away. I fall asleep, aisle 32B, as you disappear. Don't have a single dream where I don't see you in it. Maybe I made a huge mistake, I wish I really didn't. Take the seat, aisle 32B is filling up with tears. Almost too black, what's that tarmac? I should have recognized an omen and turned around. Now I wonder what would have happened till I touched the ground. 'Cause I woke up this morning lying next to you. You said you slept right through the night, so I said I did too. I didn't mean it, but I knew you would believe it, 'cause why would I lie? Share a cup of coffee, I say no food for me. I'm running way behind and there's no time before I leave. I know my body naturally creeps up without warning, so I'll take that as a sign. I'm almost ready now, you go to call a cab. I try to keep composure while on my boarding pass. Say I'm lucky, I'll
Lexi Rain on all WNY ThinkSoJoe Show. The not dearly departed Lexi Rain. She's still with us. Or she's a zombie. One of the two. I'm not sure. But either way, I interviewed her earlier today. That was literally from earlier today, that interview. Not edited at all. Literally just straight from Skype into, not Skype, Zoom into OBS and out to you. So, and she did send me one of the, let's see if we can throw this in here. This is a behind the scene. Where to go? Not go in there? Trying to send you guys a, well, let me do it. Let me put this, we'll do it this way. Trying to share this, she sent me a picture of the behind the scenes. Yeah, that was a pre-recorded thing that Zoom recorded. And for like Zoom recorded it in like 360p. Like why is it so small? I don't know if it was because it was on my prompter and not on like a regular screen, but let's see. Downloads. Okay. Let's see if we can get this in here. There's a picture. There's over there. Lexi is it's a behind the scenes photo that was sent to me from Killer Camp. Available on demand, CWTV.com. You can watch both seasons of the show. Lexi was on season 2, which aired here for 2 weeks before the CW was like, nah, we don't feel like showing this show anymore. And then put it on the shelf until like the spring lineup. It was not pre-recorded 4 years ago. It was pre-recorded 4 hours ago. 5 hours ago at this point, but still. 4 hours before the show. Which, funny enough, she was in the chat through the whole interview. She could have probably just done the interview. Like live on the show. We could have just had her right on at 6 and just been like, yeah, okay, let's get you out of here by 6:30 so you get to bed by like 11, 10:30 or 11:30, whatever. But yeah, anyway. But yes, always great to talk to Lexi. We were trying to get her on around the time of Killer Camp, as mentioned in the interview, and we weren't entirely sure if like the contract with the show was going to let her actually talk about it. But it was great because as I was, as the episodes were airing, I was sharing, hey, check out my friend, she's on the show. And then the CW was like, nah, we're not going to do that. And then I got a VPN, and I'm like, I'll watch this. You can't tell the difference. I can very easily tell the difference between hours and years. But no, I literally did that interview earlier today. I know she died on television, but dying on television does not necessarily mean you died in real life. Oh, it's funny, you got her mom all worked up, too. She said her mom was upset that we were talking about her death. But yeah, if you want to send her mom money or flowers or whatever, go right ahead. I'm sure she won't mind. But yes, you can go buy the album, you can stream the album, whatever you want to do with the album. It's out there now. It's on all streaming platforms. It is called The Grief Case. And I listened to the whole thing earlier. It's really good. I didn't have a chance to really sit and like listen to the lyrics and get the whole deeper context of it at the time because I was like, as mentioned in the interview, I got up, I ate, and then John called. So I'm like, I got to listen to this album, bro. I got this interview coming to like. But yeah, John's going to be okay. John will be back hopefully next week. They told me he can do the podcast. Just the problem, like I mentioned earlier, is the lights. Like, it might be really, like John might have to come in here, like, looking like this, like, you know, hat on and head down so the lights aren't, like, so you can't see the lights at all, because it's just that bright in here. So, but yes, hopefully John will be back soon. Especially like we need him back in the band. We got Music is Art coming up on September 20th, and we don't have a plan right now. In fact, as soon as the show is over, just blindfold him. We could do that. That would actually be highly entertaining. Maximo will come on the show and be John. You could do that. If John's not ready next week, I will probably actually next week be like, yo, I need a co-host. Like, I can't do another fucking week without a co-host. Because now we're on 2 weeks without a co-host after the week we took off because John was concussed, after the week we took off because I was getting AC put in. So, which I got to tell you, it's actually pretty comfortable in here. Of course, it's only 67 out right now, so my AC hasn't kicked on. It's actually pretty comfortable in the studio, though. Like, before we got the central air, it was, like, tough to control the temperature in here. It still kind of is, because there's all this gear. So there's all this heat coming off the gear. Yeah, I get central air now, so I got a bunch of air conditioners. If anybody wants air conditioners, come get them. Just come take them. I don't want them. Also, any guitar players out there that are looking to get into modeling, not modeling, but like, amp modeling. I've got Helix LT for sale in Marketplace right now with a road case. Can I smoke weed out of an air conditioner? You might be able to figure out a way to. I don't know. That's more of a you thing than me. But I got a Helix LT up for sale right now on Marketplace or on Reverb. Looking for $850. It comes with a road case. It comes with a faceplate. It comes with foot switch toppers. It's in great condition. It's been used at like 4 shows. Nah, man, you ain't doing it in my central air. You could take one of the old air conditioners and do it. I don't care what you do with those. Come get one. $850. $850 for the LT. Not $350, $850. Looking for $850. Reverb's like, no, you should charge $667 for it. And I'm like, yeah, $667 if I'm just selling the pedal, but there's also a $400 road case, a $75 faceplate. like I could probably get $350 just for the road case. Yeah, that would be a steal. $350 be less than what I paid for my Stomp. No, $850, man. That's which is with everything included, I think is still a steal. Like, yeah, it's at the top of the range of what you're going to pay for a used LT at this point, but like for all the extras that are included, I'm 100% like this is a good deal. Because if you were to go buy that road case from roadcases.com, that's $400. You buy the faceplate from Gear by Seba, that's $75. Like, it's a good deal. So, and maybe like at the top of what you're going to pay for a Helix, but it's also like you're getting all these extras. The thing's barely used. Everything's still original. Like, nothing had to be replaced on it. Everything still works. Like some of those LTs, the expression pedal went, and I think this is like the later version of it, so it's after all those problems were fixed. Would I take $1 a crisp high five and a barbecue? No. Joe, here's a John question for you. Name 10 animals. I just said animals like John would say it. I said animals. Name 10 animals. Let's see. So there's zebras, there's goats, there's cats, there's dogs, there's giraffes, there's apes, and there's elephants and rhinoceroses and alligators and skunks. That's 10. Anyway. Yeah, anybody looking for Helix LT, $850 with the road case and everything is actually a heck of a deal. So, you know, I'll even teach you how to use the damn thing if you need me to, which means I'd have to relearn how to use the damn thing. But it's factory reset. Everything's like, it's basically everything you would get brand new out of the box, except I don't have the software on the USB stick. I don't know where the hell that went. Everything is basically brand new out of the box. It's just attached to a road case. Yeah, John would struggle with that. I don't know. John likes animals, though. John would probably come up with 10 animals. I wonder if he'd answer the phone if we call. John, Laura wants you to name 10 animals. John, are you watching? John said he was going to watch. John, are you watching? Let us know in the chat. He told me he was going to watch. So I've got that LT, that's up for sale. I'm also going to be adding a couple of more things to Marketplace. I've got a what do you call it, rack case that we were using for our in-ear monitors when we were doing that. Look, spam. Add to block list. I know Laura's interested in the cheap streamers or cheap viewers, but I'm not, so block. Anyway, we got see she loves the bot. The spam bot. So I got the LT up. We're gonna sell this rack. I think it's I want to say 16 unit, but I'm not sure. I want to make sure before I put it up for sale, but it's in great shape. Comes with everything it came with in the first place. I'll even find some hardware and throw it in, some rack screws. Like, pretty sure I got some, but I need the space more than I need the rack case. Also going to be selling a Cricut Explorer Air 2 if anybody's looking to get into crafting. So. But that I'm not putting up until Friday because I'm not getting my new machine until Friday. That'll come with new blades. That'll come with new mats. Like, everything you need to get started. So, yeah, I'm going to be selling shit. I got to downsize shit. And I got to make some money, so we'll do both at once. I think you would want the expensive viewers. They would super chat everything. I would want the expensive viewers, not the cheap viewers that Seven Joka was offering. I don't even know if I could get super chats. Can I get super chats? Is that a thing? That I don't know if I'm eligible for that. That's why we got to rely on buy our merch, hit our tip page. I'm putting this shirt in the merch store later on after the show. I forgot to do it earlier. But yeah, I made this yesterday. I was going to wear this to do an interview yesterday, and then I found out the interview isn't for 2 more weeks, so I'm like, oh, okay, then I'll just put this aside and wear it tomorrow on the show. With a composition book with my name on it here. I don't think I need people to super chat, though. I'm going to see your chats anyway, because 1, they're right here on the screen in front of me. 2, they're right here over on this screen. 3, if I wanted them to, they could be on this screen, too. And, I don't think I get enough chats where, you guys need to pay money to cut through the rest of the chat. But if you wanted to, I wouldn't hold it against you because, money would be nice. Got bills to pay, man. But also, if you hire those, stream, you would super chat spam. Yeah, of course you would. But if, I went to that website they're telling me to go to, that's, fake engagement, and that's, totally against the terms and conditions of, the terms of service of what do you call it? Twitch and YouTube and all that. Your John questions would be super chats? Oh, that would be, yeah. Because then they're just highlighted. And we just see them, and John's just, you can't miss it, John. There's the question right there for you. I know. John's smart about some stuff. Just the stuff you ask him about, for some reason, he's not smart about. Not knowing what happens if you add red and white. Dude, how do you not know how colors work? Didn't you draw with crayons when you were a kid, bro? But, it's John. He's smart about a lot of stuff. He knows about drums. He knows how to play drums. He's a good driver. He's like a human GPS. If he goes someplace once, he knows how to get back there. It was red and not red. But either way, how do you not know if you add red to red, you're still going to have red? You're not, adding anything to it. Whatever. Yeah. I don't know. Not me sitting here asking AI, hey, how do I get to this color? Because, I haven't posted this. This is my Anthony Hopkins Silence of the Lambs painting. And I am just it looks like Steve Buscemi wearing lipstick. I'm not happy with the lip color, so I was like, all right, what color do I actually need to do lips? And he's like, oh, you want this color? And I'm like, give me a hex code for that, and I put it in my original design, and it's like, no, man, that's even worse. Give me a better one. Anyway, coming up Friday night at the Evening Star Concert Hall in Niagara Falls, New York. That's 8810 Niagara Falls Boulevard. It is Socialite, Prairie Pavement, Chatterbox, Astronaut Junkie, One Foot Up, and the Common Urchin. Gee, I wonder who booked this show. With 6 bands on one bill. Love you, Greg. Anyway, this is, so that's $20. Friday, August 29th, 18 plus ID required, no ID, no entry, doors open at 6 p.m. Get tickets at 08292.eveningstar, 08292.eveningstar.eventbrite.com. That's the date of the show. Anyway, at Evening Star Concert Hall, 8810 Niagara Falls Boulevard, Niagara Falls, New York, 14304. This is Prairie Pavement. This song is called My Cousin's Graduation on all WNY. ThinkSoJoe Show.
I'm thinking
Prairie Pavement on all WNY ThinkSoJoe Show. The song called My Cousin's Graduation. Catch them Friday night at the Evening Star Concert Hall in Niagara Falls, 8810 Niagara Falls Boulevard. But, I miss playing shows. Eventually we'll get to it. We'll be back. But, it is what it is. In the meantime, I've got my art. I will continue to do art. Working on being able to do bigger art. I'm working on expanding the art that I do. It's going to be interesting. I just bought a gas mask. Like, not a gas mask, but like a respirator. So I can do, like, certain types of art that I'm not already doing. So it's going to be fun. We're going to find out this week if I can make it as any other type of artist besides a visual and audio artist. Well, I guess painter and musician. I don't. Like, I got this thing, this Apple Pencil, because, like, I wanted to learn how to draw. And then I haven't used it really since. Like, I got it the first day. I made a nice little Poison-inspired piece of art that I never released. A World War II gas mask? No. So this guy right here. Who's this guy? This is yeah. Yeah, it came with goggles. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be trying some different types of art. Like, I like doing the painting, but sometimes it's just like, I want to do something small. I don't want to sit here and cut 17 fucking things so I can do colors and stencils and shit's ridiculous. But, yeah. Trying to get my artwork now on Etsy. I'm trying to get all those stuff I did before. And so I'm like asking, what's the best way to sell these? I sound better with it on. I'm not gonna put it fully on, but like, yeah, I don't know. Do I sound better with it on? I don't even think you could. Well, I guess you can hear me. I can see it registering. I don't know. I can't hear me with it on. But what the hell was I saying? Oh, so I'm starting to, so one of the things that it told me to do is, make sure you get a picture of the back so they can see the sawtooth hanger so they know they have a system to hang it up with. And I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably put those on these paintings. And I cannot find the box of sawtooth hangers I have. Cannot. I'm like, I chalked it up to, like, I started looking for them at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, I'll just get up and I'll find them. And yeah, no luck. Haven't found them. No idea where they are. Ordered new ones. They're only $5. It's like you can't hear me. Yeah, well, unfortunately, you have to hear me. You don't have to hear me, Laura. You are allowed to turn the show off. We have established this in the past. You are allowed. We can, if you need me to get Scott in here next week, I'll have Scott come in and tell you don't have to watch the show. Because you don't have to watch the show. Nobody is forcing you to watch the show. I appreciate that you're watching the show, though, because it gives me something to bounce off of in the chat on these days where I don't have a co-host. As much as you love watching me struggle. Which, hey, we're 20 minutes away from the end of the show. I think I did okay today. Like 15 minutes away from when I gotta go, okay, we gotta play a song. You know what I mean? Like, in fact, let me make sure I got that song queued up and not the wrong song. That made a lot of noise. Because there's a spoon underneath the thing. I literally hooked it up as we were on the air. Scott is not forcing you to watch the show. Scott's not going to steal your bananas. I'm in yellow sauce. I will make sure you get plenty of bananas. Happy sauce month, by the way. We're almost done with sauce month. But yellow sauce hasn't done anything this month. We call it, August has been sauce month because that's when yellow sauce usually releases material, but we didn't release anything this year. Oh well. I miss playing Yellow Sauce too. I miss everything, man. I miss playing in a band in general and being in front of a crowd. I'm kind of like really wanting in your Bananarama albums. I mean, he can take away your physical copies of your Bananarama albums, but you can always have Venus stuck in your head. And you can always, and it'll always be in your heart. One of my friends posted the other day, they were looking for info on DLC for the new Donkey Kong Bananarama game, or Bonanza, and it's spelled Bananza. And he was looking for information, and like the AI response was, well, that game is a fictional game that people online made up. I'm like, I literally just saw an ad for that game. That game actually does exist. So don't trust AI. That's what if you're learning anything on today's episode, it's don't trust AI. Because I asked AI, like, how did Lexi die on season 2 of Killer Camp? And it's like, oh, Lexi didn't die. She was just voted off by her peers. It's like, no, she died. I watched the episode. I saw it happen. Like, no, it didn't happen. You're just, it's just an urban legend that she died. Like, no, her character died. And it's like, well, if you could provide me with a timestamp, like, tell me where I can watch the episodes. It's like CWTV.com. So I went and I watched them. I'm like, here's the timestamp. Out of the AIs, I tried 4 different AIs. Out of the AIs, I think Copilot from Microsoft was probably the closest. When I asked the question, like, and even they were like, well, we don't have really any information on that. We don't know. Whereas Google's AI Gemini was like, oh, no, she didn't die. She didn't die. Like, oh, no, you're just misremembering. Like, no, I watched that episode. ChatGPT was like, oh, no, she didn't die. She got voted off, blah, 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 blah. And then I asked Grok on Twitter, and Grok couldn't even get the episode right that she died on. Like, it's like, oh, she died in this episode, and gave me the title of the first episode of season 1. And I'm like, that's the first episode of season 1. It's like, oh, no, you're right. What we meant to say is the season 2 episode with the same title, which was not a title of a season 2 episode. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to argue. I'm not even going to give you the satisfaction of telling you actually what happened. I'm just going to, you just sit there in ignorance. Like, you're the worst AI I've ever used. But, I don't know, like, generative art is like one thing with AI. Like, I don't want generative. Not that I haven't used it. The cover for Shades, Shades was, I paid somebody to do that art, and they used AI to do it, to help with it. The cover for I Don't, my single, was AI generated. The cover for my Umbrella cover was AI generated. And the cover for Bar Horror, we didn't generate the AI, but we asked we found an AI generated image. But like, I'd rather pay an artist. So I'm not saying I haven't used AI, but and also like Navigating the Maelstrom, my song about mosh pit etiquette, that whole thing lyrically was written by AI. But my preference for AI is to use it as like an assistant. Like, hey, help me figure out how to do this. Not, hey, do this for me. AI gets shit wrong, so let's, not really worry about the end of the world just quite yet. Not worry about Skynet. Not saying it won't get there. But we're not there yet. You asked AI who got the best braids in the world, their answer was ThinkSoJoe. Man, that AI is trained on an outdated model then. You'll trust AI, you'll replace all your friends. I don't know if I'm ready to replace my friends with AI, but it's definitely a helpful tool if you're just like, hey, I'm stuck on this thing, what do I do? Or like, hey, help me write help me come up with a way to get my shit sold. But even then, like, you gotta really read the shit, make sure everything's accurate, and sometimes correct the damn things. I don't know. I'm not as anti-AI as a lot of people I see out there, but there's limits to what it should be used for. It should not be used to like, you shouldn't be able to be like, make this, and then it makes it for you, and you say, look at my artwork. But to be like, hey, how do I make this? And then you make it and show it off like this is my artwork. That's a different thing. Like, you're learning. You can use it to learn it. Use it to learn. Don't use it to fucking do, I guess. And again, not saying I'm not guilty of having done it. So, I don't know. Laura's going to be like in that Simpsons episode, iDobot, where Homer's the only human left on the planet after Burns replaces all the workers with robots. And he's so bored that he reprograms the robots to be able to, like, be his friends. Because he got really frustrated when he's like, are you working hard or hardly working? Are you A, working hard, or B, hardly working? Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe if you're like a socially awkward kid and you want a friend, ChatGPT's got your back. So I just caught up on South Park, and the last episode was all about ChatGPT. So it was about ChatGPT and Trump, and they had to sell integrity, which is probably getting back to more of the status quo of South Park. I guess we'll find out. New Beavis and Butthead episodes are coming soon. The NFL season starting soon. The NHL season starts in just a little over a month. Starts in October, but preseason will be coming soon. Lots of stuff coming. Music is Art coming in less than a month. About 3 weeks away, 3.5 weeks away from Music is Art Festival. My favorite day of the year. So I'm looking forward to... There's a lot of stuff to look forward to right now. And this shirt's going to go up in the ThinkSoJoe Show. Excuse me. R could replace... No. This shirt's going to go up in the ThinkSoJoe Show shop soon. Merch.thinksojoe.com. No, that ain't happening either. One of the OGs in the 2011 version of The Living Brain Dead. Back when I came up with the name and never actually got a whole band for more than a week. It was weird, man, because we had neighbors complaining about us, but there was another band, like, 2 doors down, and we were just, like, playing back and forth. I wouldn't. New Living Brain Dead would blow the fucking old one away. Ever since Living Brain Dead started, whatever current version of the Living Brain Dead is, no offense to any previous members of this band, because they were all great in their own way, but every version of this band, since it started, has been better than the previous version of this band. So, you know, it is what it is. Just right now, our drummer's concussed and we don't have a singer, so we'll get there. We'll be back. We'll persevere. We always do. Dude, I don't even know how to get a hold of, like, half the people that were in that original jam session that was going to be called The Living Brain Dead. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm Facebook friends with, like, everybody on there, but but also, like, I haven't talked to some of them in years. Yeah, because, you know, that band wasn't even actually, like, called The Living Brain Dead. Like, we didn't have a name, just I had the name The Living Brain Dead. And that was what I was going to call the band, and it just never panned out, so. So when I did put together a band 8 years later, I'm like, okay, cool, I have a band name. You guys want to use this? Everybody's like, yeah, it's a cool name, let's do it. But, yeah. I'm going to make some Living Brain Dead beer mugs or something. I don't know. I got stuff coming on Friday to make stuff. Which is why I got because I'm going to be working with chemicals, so I got the gas mask and all that. And some gloves. I got gloves. I don't usually work with gloves, because usually I'm just working with acrylic paint, so it's just like, oh, this will just wash right off. So. Well, yeah, we're going to end a few minutes early today, because I got nothing else to talk about. So we'll start talking about this show that's coming up this Saturday night at Jackrabbit. It is The Beard and the Bird and the Travesties at Jackrabbit. The Beard and the Bird are excited to bring their mix of swing grass back to Jackrabbit alongside the wonderfully talented lineup of the Travesties. And that's from 8 to 11 p.m. And that is literally all the information in the entirety of the event page. Guys, we've talked about this many times on the show. Put all the information in here. I'm sure, I don't know, is it a 21 plus show? Is it 18 plus? Is it all ages? How does it feel to fulfill my ex-wife's dreams? It's like Marge's dream come true, but for me. Isn't that great, Marge? For me. Funny enough, she sent me a friend request the other day, and I was like, no. Anyway, yeah, so there's no information in here about how much this costs or whatever. So bring money and ID and hope they don't tell you to go home, I guess. But this is The Beard and the Bird, and the song is called Take the 219, or the 219, I guess. And we will, we'll see you guys next week right here on the ThinkSoJoe Show. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy.
If you need to get away from the stress and the worries of your life, if every day it feels like you're dancing on the edge of a knife, if that concrete jungle buggy is driving you insane, there's a paradise just over there, too late. take the 219. Prettiest thing you ever saw. Where the air is pristine, there's 80 shades of green. Come on, baby, take the 219. If Monday morning feels like you're deeper in the muck, if Tuesday afternoon it's getting hard to give a damn, when hump day comes around, but you're the one that's getting humped, that car's not that far to get you out of that. Come, take the 219. Prettiest thing you ever saw. Where the air is pristine, there's 80 shades of green. Come on, baby, take the 219. Let's go. Heaven knows you got no nose left for the grindstone. That candle you've been burning's all out of whack. Even better, there's no cheddar left for the rat race. Kick those tires like fires, put the pedal to the max. Get enchanted by the hills down to the valley of the Zor. There's fire in those waterfalls. Who could ask for more? Black diamonds are a girl's best friend. Live that lost life on her snow. Whatever reason, month to season, now's the time to go. Take the 219. Prettiest thing